In the field of innovation, few areas are of more importance than cybersecurity.
When startups showcase their unique solutions to the NBN Co, I'm always reminded how proud we can be of the amazing cybersecurity talent here in Australia. That's why I'm always happy to support Aussie startups.
PageUp believes that everyone can reach their full potential. For me, that philosophy absolutely extends to the startups. That is why I work with Australian startups.
At Telstra, we are committed to sharing our internal expertise to benefit the wider cybersecurity community and Australia. That's why I'm supporting Aussie startups.
At TELUS, I work with the latest tech from around the world. What excites me the most are products that are homegrown, built by smart people, and who understand our environment. That's why I'm working with Aussie startups.
At Transport for New South Wales, we work with founders to shape their companies. It's an opportunity to change their trajectory. That's why I work with Aussie startups.
Even with a big team, I know the ATO can't solve all our problems by ourselves. That's why I'm supporting Aussie startups.
Australian companies can win globally, if Ampian and others like us use our influence here to help them get their first customers. I'm confident of that. That's why I'm supporting Aussie startups.
I want to be able to say that Reece were their first customer. That's why I'm working with Aussie startups.
AusCyber knows that Australia produces amazing, globally competitive cybersecurity companies. We're also a buyer from these AusCyber companies, proudly so.
A startup nation, an innovative nation, is the key to ensuring our prosperity and our security in the years to come.
It's why I support.
It's why I support.
It's why I support
Australian cybersecurity startups.
Welcome to CyRise Demo Day, our second for this year. Thank you for joining us as we support and spotlight our teams from Cohort 4. You'll hear pitches from 6 teams, each of them introduced by one of their fellow cohort founders. Some are pitching for funding, others are pitching for customers. As you watch on, think about how you might like to support or get involved. Once the pitches are done, we'll transition into a live Q&A session. Nothing for you to do now, but kick back and take it all in.
2020 has been a year of economic uncertainty, but what has emerged is a strong wave of innovation and entrepreneurship. It's been a privilege to watch our founders continue to innovate and see industry step up and support them. We expect big things from our portfolio companies. So far, across 22 CyRise investments, 60% of our teams have gone on to raise capital post-accelerator. 70 new Australian jobs have been created from this growth, and this growth is set to continue. 2021 will see customers, contracts and capital raising, not just for these 6 startups, but also for the alumni that have gone before them.
None of this is possible without the support of industry around CyRise. Virtual meetings have absolutely played to our advantage this year, opening up more options than ever before to get into the diaries of existing and new industry advisors. We thank you so much for your time and your insights, for making it easier for startup solutions to be adopted inside your organisations, and for being advocates with your peers and your colleagues. At CyRise, we're so looking forward to 2021. Next year, we're planning 2 accelerator programs and face-to-face boot camps around the country. We have ambitious targets for 2021. We know there's a groundswell in the Australian and Asia Pacific cybersecurity startup ecosystem, and we want to help and be part of it.
Ultimately, it's the founders that we're here for. They're the ones that drive what we do, and in turn, are driving our industry to be future focused. So today, we champion them. Our ask is that you too can wholeheartedly say, I support Australian cybersecurity startups. Now let's kick this thing off.
Facts and accuracy matters to David. He is a cloud security purist at heart, and he has listened carefully to his enterprise customers to understand what really matters to them. You'll find yourself nodding along today because he and the team at Argos has built a product that will tell you what you need to know about cloud security super fast. Please welcome David from Argos.
Hi, I'm David from Argos.
For the last decade, I have designed cloud environments for organizations of all sizes all around the world. After all those years, something became very clear to me when one of my customers got hacked after a team made a simple but all too common change to their systems. As an industry, we are still getting cloud security basics wrong. It's usually the simple things that have the biggest impact. And we see that reflected in almost every single data breach report. And my conclusion? Cloud security posture products are not living up to their promise. My customer was hacked, and the products that promised to help us didn't give us the insights we needed, instead generating so much noise with unimportant alerts that had nothing to do with cloud security. We know the stats. Just identifying a data breach can take up to 200 days. And sure, they can cost around $4 million, but the loss of trust by your customers will be so much worse. And these events are happening with increasing frequency and severity. So why is it that as an industry, we accept subpar products that mistake compliance for security? Cloud security is not a compliance exercise, but needs to finally be taken seriously. And this is why I founded Argos, to stop these events from happening and put security back into focus. We solve this problem by continuously checking your cloud environments for insecure configuration and only alert you when we find real security issues. With Argos, there's no question about what the real security issues are, as we prioritize findings into actionable packages for your cloud security and operations teams. We make cloud security so simple, fixing issues can be as easy as clicking a button with our built-in remediation feature. Being a fully managed SaaS platform, we're making a point of how blazingly fast it is to receive value, exposing issues in minutes. We make sure that long product integration phases are a thing of the past. It's only been a few months since we launched, and we're already working with some well-known organizations with great security teams that understand that security drives compliance and not the other way around. Some of our early adopters even identified themselves to us as customers of competing products. So if you want to join us on our journey in disrupting the cloud security market and want to learn more about our upcoming seed round in the first half of 2021, then get in touch with me. I am David O'Brien from Argos. Thank you.
Another day, another data breach. Boring? No. You wouldn't want to fall a victim of an identity theft. If you are a business, having the details about your customers stolen would be a nightmare scenario. But there is a startup that suggests a revolutionary method of stopping the data breach epidemic. Let me introduce you to Mike Lowy from Tide, who will explain you what this technology is all about.
Hi, I'm Mike, co-founder of Tide, a deep tech venture developing a new breed of trust technologies that takes the venom out of privacy breaches. Privacy breaches impact virtually every business on the planet. They hit our newsfeed daily and cause over $2 trillion in damages every year. And despite hundreds of billions invested in defending against them, that damages bill is only increasing. It's infuriating for businesses spending a fortune but still carrying an enormous risk, and for consumers finding their passwords or even their passports on the dark web. Obviously, the current approach isn't working, and that breach is inevitable. But what if there was a way to guarantee that when that breach happens, there's nothing valuable to find? Tide's technology introduces an entirely new approach by enabling your business to lock your consumers' sensitive data and hand them the only key. That information becomes completely benign within your system in the event of a breach, but available as normal with the consumer's consent. Tide's decentralized solution, with no central point of failure, seamlessly safeguards your consumers' keys until they need them and grants your business automated access when you need it based on your mutually agreed terms and conditions. This transformative technology, the result of 3 years of deep R&D, introduces benefits that others can't. Instead of continuously fortifying around your biggest vulnerability, we've disintegrated it. So when your defenses get breached, there's nothing to find. There's absolutely no change to the consumer's user experience or to your business processes, all while cutting your cybersecurity and compliance costs. Tide's privacy benefits to consumers may be unprecedented, but the solution is purely focused on business needs, removing the threat of mass data breach, easing compliance, building trust with consumers, and cutting costs, all through a simple SaaS subscription model. Ultimately, Tide not only secures the value of your data within your business, but powers a seamless open data economy, turning privacy protection into a profitable way to monetize your data. Over the course of developing our patented technology, we've been awarded a National Research Council grant, we've been covered by international media, and championed by global bodies like the UN's OECD and the UK's Competition and Markets Authority. We have a multi-tiered approach to tap into a market of developers building business systems, starting with a simple SDK on the low end, to sign partnerships with systems integrators like NTT Global on the top end, with projects lining up in 2021. We're a team with leadership experience in the military, in enterprise, and we've earned our stripes with multiple exits. We're backed by a stellar advisory board and investor base of tech veterans through to forward-thinking politicians. We're seeking co-innovation partnerships with enterprise and systems integrators, and we'd love to hear from you. Thank you.
As Cohort 4 Demo Day approached, my third with CyRise, I was asked what motivates me to work with Australian cybersecurity entrepreneurs. Could it be the kangaroos, the crocodile hunters, the dingoes, the music scene in St. Kilda, the Aussie lifestyle, the friendly people? Probably all and more. But in these times of all Zoom, all the time, I suppose it comes down to the energy from hungry entrepreneurs with a thirst for building disruptive cybersecurity companies. The dirty truth is that no country or geo has a lock on innovation or entrepreneurship, where the raw ingredients are ideas, motivation, and a supportive ecosystem. Here in Israel, a nation with few sports and movie stars, save of course for Wonder Woman, and no natural resources, entrepreneurs are the national heroes, and building startups is the national sport. While natural resources are the basis for Australia's historical wealth and have helped the economy avoid recession for nearly 30 years, prospects for zero growth even before coronavirus suggest that embracing tech innovation is the way forward. I believe that the global economic powerhouses of the next generation will emerge from countries that identify and embrace three national priorities: artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and cybersecurity. CyRise, its many supporters, and its ever-expanding ecosystem of partners is finding and helping motivated entrepreneurs develop and bring to market cybersecurity technology with the potential of establishing Australia's place among the cybersecurity powerhouses. It is therefore an honor to contribute to this mission, even in a small way, and even when limited to zooming in from Israel.
CyRise is both valuable and attractive to NTT. It's always valuable to collect perspectives and innovations and invention from the outside as well as from the inside. And so to be connected to those fledgling innovators is really terrific for us. It's also wonderful and inspiring for our employees, and it helps us attract graduates, quite frankly. It's also important for those entrepreneurs, inventors, innovators to be able to get guidance from us around what the real market needs are and how to perhaps pivot or orient their thinking towards that. Sometime between 2025 and 2030, the digital world will become a quantum world and a world of photonic communications where we shift from electrons to photons. So think about quantum security. Think about security requirements in a world where intelligence exists at the edge, even out to satellite-based data centres.
Gaurav and Samir of AppSec 360 have lived and breathed the challenges of application security, working for some of the biggest names in the world over the past 15 years. They're also some of the most positive founders I have ever met. Nothing stops them, not even geography. Samir is in Canada and Gaurav in Australia. Their joint knowledge, coupled with determination, is going to revolutionize application security. Welcome, Gaurav.
Hi, I'm Gaurav. I'm co-founder of AppSec 360. AppSec 360 will change the way organizations run their AppSec programs. Software applications are everywhere. This impacts all aspects of our life, whether we want it or not. This is fundamentally important that these applications are built securely and work in ways they are intended to. More than 40% of cybersecurity breaches are caused by application-level security bugs. Not an exciting statistics, considering the critical role that these apps play in the various parts of our lives. One of the best ways to make sure that application is built securely is to start the security journey at the same time as applications development. But it's easier said than done, considering only 14% of companies are actually set up for that. And if you force security into the development workflow without the right setup, you drive up security costs. That impacts development timelines and undermines an organization's security and risk posture overall. Current security controls in development workflows lack visibility, scalability, and the ability to integrate siloed workflows. Inability to scale application security slows down rapid innovation and reliable service delivery. Between my co-founder and I, we have spent more than 30 years helping organizations bring secure products into the market. Application security has been a huge part of our lives. We have repeatedly seen security teams still struggle keeping up with development speeds. For every DevSecOps success story, there are many more where the security teams struggle to keep up with developer agility while maintaining the security of their products. Our mission at AppSec 360 is to put an end to that struggle. The challenge is to empower development teams to include security in their workflows without making the security team a bottleneck. AppSec 360 meets that challenge. It is a developer-focused force multiplier for the application security teams. This platform spans across the product release cycle and acts as an integrator of DevOps tools. It enables development teams to start their security journey right from the planning stage. And it does this without impacting engineering velocity and reducing the need for human security intervention. And that frees development and security teams to focus on stuff that really matters. So why do this now? Because companies are speeding up the development cycles like never before. And faster the development happens, harder it is for the security teams to catch up. And these trends point to bigger security backlogs in the future, which will quickly become unmanageable. We have built AppSec 360 to ensure that security doesn't become a casualty of development speed. This exciting journey has already begun, and we are working with a couple of amazing engineering companies as design partners. The problems we face in this journey are daunting, but the solutions will be equally rewarding. If you think your organization has what it takes to join forces with us in this journey, we'd love to have you as our design partners. My name is Gaurav, and I'm co-founder of AppSec 360. You can reach me using the email on the slide.
The instant I met Aaron and he told me about his product, my head kept nodding and my face smiling. I've built multi-million-dollar businesses as simple as, yet far less powerful than Workflow 86 is. No code is eating software, and I have no doubt after you hear from Aaron, you'll realise that he's at the top of that food chain. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce Aaron from Workflow 86.
Hi, I'm Aaron, founder and CEO at Workflow 86. I'd like you to meet Jessica. She's the cybersecurity lead at a large company. Every week, she receives about 100 emails from other business units seeking her security advice. Her workflows here are very manual, inefficient, and they rely on expertise stored inside her head. The results? A growing backlog and dwindling job satisfaction for Jessica, because as a subject matter expert, she wants to be spending her time more efficiently and focus on higher value tasks. Jessica's story highlights a problem that many security teams face. There are tasks where people just do not scale. But what if Jessica could take her expertise and that jumble of documents and spreadsheets and turn it into automated software, all without having to write any code, with the ability to handle highly complex workflows and also be highly customized to exactly how she works? Well, that's what Workflow 86 does. Let's return to Jessica because she's just signed up for Workflow 86, and let's take a look at her laptop. Workflow 86 makes building automation software as easy as dragging, dropping, and connecting modular components together on a visual canvas. So after just a few hours, Jessica has created a sophisticated automated workflow for answering and triaging security questions. This workflow helps her streamline the intake of security questions, automates answers to basic issues, and even performs dynamic risk assessment to identify and triage high-risk issues. And with a single click, the workflow Jessica has designed is now fully functional software. And she starts saving hours of work every week. This is John, the CISO where Jessica works. You can see that he's pretty relaxed because with Workflow 86, not only has he boosted productivity and codified Jessica's expertise into software, but with the menial and repetitive tasks automated, job satisfaction is up and employee churn is down. Jessica's story is just one example of how Workflow 86 is helping security teams scale output and productivity through workflow automation, from self-service and triage tools to decision support for processes such as security exemptions and risk analysis and modelling for vendors and third parties. With customers across state government, peak industry bodies and Fortune 500 companies, we are already helping teams automate their most complex and mission-critical workflows. Stop working through manual, repetitive tasks or creating clunky documents and spreadsheets, and sign up today for early access to our free subscription.
Deacon's vision for 2021 and beyond in cybersecurity is to bring together all the different elements of cybersecurity, which encompasses things from criminology, psychology, the human aspects, the business processes, and the technology side as well. Not forgetting the law and regulation aspects that need to be considered. We're working on smart grid technology, smart cities, helping to develop the next generation of technologies used to secure information and data, as well as working with the Australian government to produce the best practice guides for critical infrastructure as well. It's really important to see Australian startups in cybersecurity. As we become more digitally dependent on technology, it's really important for Australia to position itself correctly in the global market, and the only way to do that is to really build new entrepreneurs and new startups in Australia, particularly in the cybersecurity tech sector. Deakin supports CyRise because they offer an innovative program that links entrepreneurs with the talent, industry, the right level of coaching to help propel them into the next stage of their development. I highly recommend it to Chief Information Security Officers and other leaders in the industry to get involved as mentors. And if you've got an idea, if you're an entrepreneur or you want to try something a little bit different, definitely reach out to CyRise, connect with them and find out about their innovative programs and how they can help you.
The co-founders of Pravasio, Sergey and Ronnie, have been on the front lines of malware research for decades. When you combine their deepest knowledge and experience, you get Pravasio. Pravasio was developed to dynamically detect threats on the new frontier of technology, Docker containers. It's my pleasure to introduce you to co-founder and CTO of Pravasio, Sergey.
Hi, it's Sergey. I'm here today to present you Pravasio, a dynamic threat analysis system for Docker containers. Over the years of evolution, computing technologies are gradually moving into the cloud, making the end user's life so much easier. When the software runs in the cloud, chances are it's running as a container, a very convenient form of packaging software. With the digital transformation in place, what happened to the attackers who traditionally targeted the endpoints? Did they disappear? Of course not. What they are doing now is they're shifting their focus into the cloud. In spite of conveniences enabled by this technology, containers are still exposed to multiple risks, such as malicious insiders, dynamic payload, hidden backdoors, supply chain attacks. But the biggest problem of all, containers today are the black boxes. The lack of visibility of what actually happens inside containers is the biggest problem of this technology. Take a look at Docker Hub, the world's largest repository with more than 4 million of public Docker containers. It is used by the biggest companies in the world, and yet without any kind of testing for malicious code, it is a Wild West. So here is what we've done. We have scanned the entire Docker Hub, all 4 million container images. We have found 6,500 of malicious and potentially harmful containers. More than 50% of all containers have critical vulnerabilities, which makes them all potentially exploitable. We are the first company in the world that has done such a test. We named our research Operation Red Kangaroo, and we just released our findings globally. And this is how we've done it. We place a container into our own virtual environment, and then we run it. During the execution of our container, we observe its behavior. We collect and inspect its network traffic, weak usernames and passwords. We collect all the system events that happen inside the running container. We build a high-level visualization of its behavior. We do a vulnerability scan, and finally, we perform a fully automated pen test. On the output, we produce a verdict. We tell you if a container is good or bad, whether it's safe or not. Along with that, our system also produces a full report of its behavior. We are getting very good traction with these customers, with Secure Code Warrior agreeing to become our first design partner. Privacio is brought to you by Roni and Sergey, the security experts with more than 20 years of experience in malware research. If you share our vision and would like to partner with us, you are welcome. If you are a venture capitalist and you would like to get together with us on our journey to move our product to the next level, let's just do it. Please feel free to drop us a line and we'll get back to you shortly. Thank you.
With email data a core asset of so many companies, I know that I'm alongside experienced technology experts as I watch the MailTumble team land customer after customer. Using privacy and security as an enabler, these guys are allowing organizations to not just protect their assets, but program in their controls. It's rare that we see companies in the security space have a direct ROI. So I hope you are as excited to learn about MailTumble as I was when I first met the team. Here they are, Michael and Beck of MailTumble.
Hi, I'm Michael, the original architect and co-founder behind MailTumble. I started down this path in my last startup, where we would collect tens of millions of email addresses that we would rent to our customers. We had controls in our sharing, but they were contracts, terms, policies. I just couldn't enforce them. And that's not just because of bad intent, but lack of training, turnover of staff, misunderstanding of opt-ins, and a number of other grey areas. At my core, with everything I've learned over the past 10 years as a founder, to grow revenue and protect privacy, this needed to be codified. Expecting contracts to enforce appropriate data use is like expecting thoughts and prayers are going to protect you in shark-infested waters. We need to put a cage around it. So I put together a team to solve this problem, and we built this privacy, security, and analytics cage for email. And it was obvious. This was a problem for everyone, and not just my company. There are now 500 companies using MailTumble, with 18 million tumbled email addresses, delivering 2 million emails each and every month. And I'd had no idea how big a problem we had solved until we could see in real time we were stopping emails that should have never gone out.
Hi, I'm Beck, co-founder and CTO of MailTumble. I've joined to build the core service into a feature-rich platform for email list management. Like a URL shortener, a sharing tool that lets you program in contractual obligations, MailTumble substitutes an email address for a tokenized one, enabling you to control delivery mechanisms. Our platform enables businesses to share their database outside of their four walls, while still enforcing their controls, ownership, and privacy of the data. We've codified the handling of email. Our initial focus is on 3 verticals. Data brokers. These guys sell consumer and business email data. Marketplaces, where buyers and sellers are connected to trade, make a property inquiry, seek services, or sign up for utilities. Associations and conference organisers, who are enabling sponsors to do outreach to the attendee database.
We have a robust working product in the market and revenues through the door. So if you work with someone who's been sharing emails the old-fashioned way, we'd like you to show them the future of control for email list assets by connecting all of us together. Finally, sign up for an account and demo our product before you roll it out to the rest of your organisation. Thank you.
What a way to round out 2020. Amazing work from Michael, Beck, Mike, Aaron, Sergey, David, and Garub.
To those out there tempted to give it a go, CyRise Cohort 5 kicks off in March 2021. You too can absolutely do something amazing.
Got questions? Join us now for a live Q&A. We'll also be sending you a follow-up email so you can chat with founders you'd like to follow up with.
The calibre is super high. Let's keep the momentum going and support Aussie startups into 2021.
So join us now by clicking the link below to continue the conversation.